This is the Star Wars The Black Series 3.75-inch Commander Thorne. Figure is part of the fifth wave of Series 3 of these 3.75-inch or 1/18th scale figures for the Black Series. Part of the final wave where these things were still on regular retail way back in June 2015. So let's do a little bit of an unboxing and a review of the figure. Since it's an old figure anyway, nobody cares about it, right? Just what my thoughts are on these figures. So back in the day, the Black Series were they were easy to find because they were mainstream. They weren't exclusives. They weren't too expensive. But nowadays, Black Series are for this scale. You know, are either Walmart exclusives or store exclusives. So, Clone Commander Thorne. He's actually, I think he appeared, if you remember the Clone Wars, the predecessor of Rebels. There was an episode where, oh come on, where Padme was supposed to go to Scipio, and he had an escort of Shocktroopers led by Commander Thorne, obviously, and with some other Shocktroopers. He's obviously a Shocktrooper, but this one is done not in the Clone Wars style, but rather in the movie realistic style of Stormtrooper, of a clone trooper. I don't know which way it goes. Does it go this way? Kind of looks like that. Or does it go this way? Okay, I think it goes this way. Okay. Same with this one. Does it go this way? No, it goes this way. Okay. All right, cool. That's great. One of the better sculpts, in my opinion, for troopers. They still have that full range of articulation. It's an old mold that they used, an old movie mold, but back in the day, the figures were like amazing. So, I mean, if you guys still have your old Star Wars figures, I suggest you hang on to them. Don't throw them away. Don't sell them right away because, man, the new figures these days, they're like 5 points of articulation, very nostalgic looking figures. These were like the bomb before. I mean, we complained a lot that they didn't have enough articulation. Now we're just happy to get knee joints or elbow joints or waist swivels, because the figures nowadays, ever since the Force Awakens toy line started, the figures were just 5 points over articulation. So stand him up. See if we can get him to stand. Oh, he can't even stand. Okay. Come on, man. Ah. Don't know why. He's got trouble standing up. Speaking of clone troopers, here is another realistic type of clone trooper, not the Clone Wars. This is from the Legacy collection, I think. Very similar in design. I do like the sculpt of this one, but the articulation for this one is definitely much better. This one is just swivel wrist. This one is more. We'll talk about articulation later, just so you could see scale. But if you got several of these with Commander Thorne, that'd be great. And speaking of Padme, here is Padme Amidala. This is the only one I could find that would. I don't have an actual figure that shows her when she went to Scipio. Let me just shut the door. And okay, so that's scale. So here he is. Great sculpt. He's got that big antennae going on his shoulder. He's got a wonderful, like a biker scout visor on his helmet. I don't really get why they have those. It like gives them very bad peripheral vision. They already have bad peripheral vision as it is with the helmet, and they put that on. Doesn't do anything. It's like maybe for against the elements or something like that. Anyway, but it looks cool. Makes them look super cool, but functionally, I don't think it works. Okay, nice sculpted waist cape on it with some holsters. Holsters are for the blasters. These are, God, I can't even remember these blasters anymore. I call them the Captain Rex blasters because they're what the clone commanders, or the side arms for the captains or clone commanders. This is what they use. Super cool. No other weapon, amazingly, for this guy. Usually they'd give him like a bazooka, or they'd give him like a rifle like that, but they just gave him the sidearm, which is fine. This is what he uses anyway. So very, very cool. Paint apps, a little bit of a quality issue right there on the chest. That's the main point of contention with most of these figures that I've seen on the pegs. The paint on the helmet seems to be okay. On the face, a little bit there, but overall, very, very good. Star Wars figures normally have excellent paint jobs or paint applications. Some issues here on the belt, very, very minor. So, great sculpt. Wish it was more in the Clone Wars, but a realistic, like a movie-esque type of rendition is also fine. So he's got a, is it ball joint? Yes, it is a ball joint. Very loose though. He's got a waist swivel. Okay, ball hinge shoulders. I think the armor hampers it a little bit. That allows it to go side to side. Ball hinge. Ball hinge elbow. As you've seen, it folds both ways. Ball hinge wrists. This one goes up and down, and I'm guessing this other one goes, it goes up and down as well. Very, very cool, much like G.I. Joe. I wish they would bring this back. Oh my goodness, I wish Hasbro would bring this back. We took these for granted. Now that there's no more articulation, man, we miss these things. Hinge hips, ball hinge knees, ball hinge ankles, but this is the old ankle joint. It does not have the rocker joint, and that's why it's very difficult to stand him up, because it's his boots, his soles are uneven. And there you go, Hasbro China. And I don't know if you can stand him up properly. And then you can holster the sidearm weapons here in the sculpted holsters on his waist cape. And there you go. I love the figure. Very, very good. And man, I really appreciate the articulation that this guy still has compared to the newer ones now. So very, very nice. I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10, definitely. Hope you've enjoyed this little video review. This has been the Star Wars The Black Series in 3.75 inch Commander Thorne from the Clone Wars. Thanks for watching.